Naram Chaiva Narottama Devam Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayesha Bhatreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavadir Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Neshtihi Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Lange Dekir Yatkripatamaham Nande Shri Guru Dina Darinam Paramananda Madhumam Shri Chaitanya Ishvara Namo Krishna Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimade Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshadharini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Is the echo there still? That's because of my YouTube. Is it okay now?
Echo is there, but it's okay. It's okay, Vada.
Yes, Prabhu?
It's better, Mataji.
Even it's there now?
Yeah, it's better now.
Okay. We'll see the verse today, 4th canto, 23rd chapter, verse number 26. Shaishanunam vrajati urdham anu vainyam patim sati pashyatasman atitarya chir udvi bhavyena karmana. Synonyms are she, esha, this, nunam, certainly, vrajati, going, urdhvam, upward, anu, following, vainyam, the son of Mena, patim, husband, sati, chaste, pashyata, just see, asman, yes, atitya, overpassing, archi, of the name Archi, durvibhavyena, by inconceivable, karmana, activities. Translation: the wives of the demigods continued. Just see how this chaste lady Archi, by dint of her inconceivable pious activities, is still following her husband upward as far as we can see. Can someone read the purport? Who likes to read the purport? Hare Krishna. Ms. Chitra Mataji, like to read the purport?
Hare Krishna Mataji, the purport. Both Prithu Maharaj's airplane and the airplane carrying Queen Archi were passing out of the vision of the ladies of the higher planetary systems. These ladies were simply astonished to see how Prithu Maharaj and his wife achieved such an exalted position. Although they were the wives of the denizens of the higher planetary system, and Prithu Maharaj was an inhabitant of an inferior planetary system, the earth, the king, along with his wife, passed beyond the realms of the demigods and went upward to Vaikuntha Loka. The word urdhvam, upward, is significant here, for the ladies speaking were from the higher planetary systems, which include the moon, sun, and Venus, up to Brahmaloka, or the highest planet. Beyond Brahmaloka is the spiritual sky, and in that spiritual sky, there are innumerable Vaikuntha Lokas. Thus, the word Urdhvam indicates that the Vaikuntha planets are beyond or above these material planets. And it was to these Vaikuntha planets that Prithu Maharaja and his wife were going. This also indicates when Prithu Maharaja and his wife Archi abandoned their material bodies in the material fire, they immediately developed their spiritual bodies and entered into the spiritual air planes, which could penetrate the material elements and reach the spiritual sky. Since they were carried Since they were carried by the two separate airplanes, it may be concluded that even after being burned in the funeral pit, they remained separate individual persons. In other words, they never lost their identity or became void, as imagined by the impersonalist. The ladies in the higher planetary system were capable of seeing both downward and upward. When they looked down, they could see that the body of Prithu Maharaja was being burned and that his wife Achi was entering into the fire. And when they looked upward, they could see how they were being carried into airplanes to the Vaikuntha Lokas. All of this is possible simply by Durvibhavayena Karmana, inconceivable activity. Prithu Maharaja was a pure devotee and his wife Queen Archie simply followed her husband. Thus, they can both be considered pure devotees and thus they are capable of performing inconceivable activities. Such activities are not possible for ordinary men. Indeed, ordinary men cannot even take to the devotional service of the Lord. Nor can ordinary women maintain such vows of chastity and follow their husbands in all respects. A woman does not need to attain high qualification, but if she simply follows in the footsteps of her husband, who must be a devotee, then both husband and wife attain liberation and are promoted to the Vaikuntha Lokas. This is evinced by the inconceivable activities of Maharaja Prithu and his wife. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranamataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, thank you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Shaishanonam Rajati Urdvam Anuvainyam Patim Sati Pashyetasmat Atityarchi Durvibhavyena Karmana. Translation: the wives of the demigods continued. Just see how this chaste lady Archie, by dint of her inconceivable pious activities, is still following her husband upward as far as we can see. Hare Krishna. So in the previous verses we saw how Prithu Maharaj is trying to go back home, back to Godhead, and then how Archie did Vaishnav Seva to her husband, and she's been a chaste wife, and she's following her husband upward. So Prabhupada mentions here in this purport that how a chaste wife, now just she has to follow the footsteps of her husband. That's it. Nothing else. She didn't have to do anything. She simply has to follow the footsteps of her husband, right? And who must be a devotee? That person should be a devotee, and then both of them can attain liberation. So who said grihasthas can't go back to Godhead? Nothing like that. Only brahmacharis or sannyasis can go. No. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's all associates were, most of them were grihasthas, right? So Arjuna was a grihastha. So grihasthas can also attain perfection. Prahlad Maharaj, you can see the 12 Mahajans. Swayambhu Narada Shambhu Kumara Kapilo Manu Prahlado Janaka Bhishma Bali Vayasakir Vayam. Okay. So in the 12 Mahajans, Swayambhu, Brahma, who was he? Grihastha or Brahmachari? Brahma? Grihastha. Right? Mother Saraswati. Narad Muni?
Brahmachari.
Brahmachari. Shiva, Lord Shiva? Grihastha. Vaishnavana Yata Shambhu is the best among devotees. He's a Grihastha. So I'm Narada Shambhu. Kumara, Kumara?
Brahmachari.
Kumara, Kapila Dev?
Brahmachari.
Kumara, Kapila, Manu? Grihastha. Right? Prahlad. Grihastha. Janaka. Bhishma.
Brahmachari.
Bali Maharaj.
Grihastha.
Shukadeva Goswami.
Brahmachari.
Yamaraj. Grihastha. So when you see the 12 Mahajans, you can see half of them as Grihasthas, half of Brahmacharis. Everybody, they became Mahajans, they are the eternal associates of the Lord. I mean, so it doesn't matter you are in a Grihastha life or a Brahmachari or a Sannyas, unless and until you follow the right ashram and do devotional service. Prabhupada says, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, his guru, created a lot of brahmacharis and sannyasis to preach. But Prabhupada, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, he created a lot of grihasthas. The first 6 couples who preached Krishna consciousness all over the world, right? There were the 6 couples, Shyam Sundar Prabhu and Malti Mataji, and there is Yamuna Devi Dasi Mataji, and all of them, they all preached Krishna consciousness. They were grihasthas. Prabhupada made grihasthas to set an example. And later on, Prabhupada predicted also, most of the time, I mean, those days, if somebody has to join a temple of Krishna conscious movement, means you join the temple, like full-time devotee. That was the concept in those days. But now Prabhupada mentioned that in future, after a few years, it will happen so that temple devotees will be less, and people will be around the house, around the world, in their house, with their family, living with their children and spouse, and doing their ugra karma, along with that, chanting the holy name and being devotees. So Prabhupada predicted that. So husband and wife both can go back to Godhead, provided husband is a devotee, not a karmi. Provided husband is a devotee, because half of the punyas or the devotional service which husband does, the wife gets it. So this is a great example here, how you can see Archie following Prithu Maharaj, because Prithu Maharaj is a pure devotee, and she's just followed. So Prithu Maharaj is a pure devotee, and Archie simply followed her husband. Okay, so is there any other example you can think of? Wife following the devotee husband and getting liberated?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Kapil,
You mean Devahuti?
Pandu Madhavi Mataji. Pandu Sri
Kunti.
Madri, she did sati. Okay. I'm talking about liberation, following the footsteps of, okay. Who wrote Gita Govinda? Who wrote Gita Govinda?
Jaydev Goswami.
Jaydev Goswami. What's his wife's name?
Padmavati.
Padmavati. Very nice. Yes, Prafula Mataji. Yeah. So Padmavati and Jaydev Goswami said eternally, even after liberation, eternally, they both live as husband and wife in the spiritual world. I mean, nobody, all of us, husband, this is just a bodily relationship here. But once you get liberated, it's like we can be a grass in Vrindan, Golok Vrindam, we can be a cow, we can be Gopas, Gopis, whatever it is. But eternal associates are all husband, wife. There's no bodily relationship there. It's just for service of Krishna. But then Jaydev Goswami and Padmavati, it says that eternally they live with Krishna as husband and wife. Why? Because they were pure devotees. And she followed her husband. And she was more fortunate than Jaydev Goswami. So we know that story, how Jaydev Goswami was a brahmachari. He wants to be a brahmachari, and he was living in Jagannath Puri. But then Jagannath had another plan. His favorite devotee was Padmavati. So as Prabhupada mentions, a girl should be almost protected. Before marriage under her father, after marriage with husband, and then later on son, brothers. She should be always safe. So Padmavati's parents, because they offered Padma or lotus to Jagannath, that's why they got the child. They promised that they will give that girl as a Devi Dasi, to the temple. So when she was matured, Padmavati's father came and gave that girl to Jagannath. What will Jagannath do now with that girl? No, so Jagannath wanted to see her happy, Lord Jagannath. So what he did, came in the dream of Padmavati's father and said, make her married to Jaydev Goswami. And Jaydev Goswami he wanted to be a Naishtika brahmachari. He didn't want to get married. He was living such an austere, simple life. But then Padmavati's father went and said, you have to marry her. This is Jagannath's order. And later in the dream, Jagannath came to Jaydev Goswami and said, you have to accept her. And they were living like pure devotees. Nothing in between them, nothing wrong between them, or no fights and all as we do. But they were like pure devotees, helping. She was doing Vaishnav Seva. So one day it so happened that Jaydev Goswami was writing Gita Govinda, and there was a line which represents, which says that Krishna took the dust of the lotus feet of Radharani. And Jaydev Goswami thought, no, I can't write this. How can Krishna take the dust of lotus feet of Radharani? So he cut the verses and he went to take a bath. So normal, what was the custom is, once the husband eats, and in the same plate, the wife eats. That was the custom before. Nowadays, it's all changed. But then, so Jaydev Goswami told, I'll take a dip in Ganges and come back. And then in the river and come back. By then, you prepare the bhog and offer prasadam. to me. So he went, but immediately he came back. And then Padmavati was like, why did you come back? No, I forgot to write that line in Gita Govinda. I'll write quickly. You give me prasadam. I'll take bath later. So she started cooking and offering and all, and she was about to serve prasadam to him. Jayadeva Goswami went and wrote that lines. And then after having prasadam, he went to sleep. When the real Jayadeva Goswami came, so the first one who came was Jagannath himself. When the real Jayadeva Goswami came, Padmavati was already having her food. And Jayadeva Goswami is like, what happened to you? You always have after me. No, you already had food, no? No, I went to take bath. No, you came. And there was like a confusion there. And they went and saw there was nobody inside the room. And then Jayadeva Goswami understood it's Krishna himself who came and went and saw the book. Those lines were written by Lord Jagannath himself. So I request all of you to memorize these verses because it's written by Krishna himself. Smaragarala kandanam, mama shirasi mandanam. Dehi pada pallavam daram, priye charushile, munjamai mananidanam. So it means, Radharani, please give the dust of your lotus feet and keep your leg on my head. That's what Krishna is requesting Radharani. And Krishna himself wrote it. And Jayadeva Goswami could not know what to do. And Jayadeva Goswami immediately fell at Padmavati's lotus feet. Why? He didn't see I'm his husband and I'm dominating, nothing like that. Because she got the darshan of Jagannath. And Jayadeva Goswami didn't get darshan, but Padmavati could serve him, the Lord, gave him prasad, and then ate his remnants and was with him for some time. So she got the association. He could see Jagannath face to face in the form of Jayadeva Goswami, but Jayadeva Goswami started worshipping his wife because she got the darshan. Both of them went back to Godhead together. And there is the Pushpa Samadhi of Jayadeva Goswami and Padmavati in Radha Damodar temple in Vrindavan. When you do that parikrama of the temple, you can see the Pushpa Samadhi. So this is how exalted pure devotees are. That it doesn't mean the wife cannot get delivered. No, here it says ordinary women cannot maintain chastity or ordinary men cannot take devotional service, in the sense pure devotional service, right? Because they are pure devotees of the Lord. And here it is said that they didn't become one with the Lord. Okay, so they didn't become one with the Lord. So here it is said they maintained their individuality, right? They were like separate individual person. So what is that mukti when you become one with the Lord, which the impersonals or the Mayavadis want?
Sayujya.
So Sayuja Mukti, which is considered to be equal to hell. Kaivalyam Naragayate. Here it is said. So the so-called liberation, okay, that is Kaivalya. Kaivalyam Naragayate. This is by Prabodhananda Saraswati. He says that in Chaitanya Chandramrita. He says Kaivalya Narakayate. Kaivalya Narakayate means the liberation which we attain by merging into the existence. It's like Naraga. It's like hell. No, nobody wants this, right? So they want pure devotional service. Nothing else is important. The so-called liberation is also just Kaivalya. Kaivalya Naragayate, right? So that's the Mayavadis. They think the perfection is Kaivalya, to become one with the Supreme. But it's considered hellish. It's considered hellish for a devotee. A devotee don't want to become one with the Lord. He wants to be the servant of the Lord. And also, we have to reject all the 5 kinds of devotion, mukti. That's what Kapila Dev says in the 3rd canto. Salokya sashti samithya sarupekatvam api uta diyamanam nagrihyanti vina matsevanam jana. So I don't want these kind of liberations. A pure devotee does not accept any kind of liberation. Salokya sashti samithya sarupya or ekatva. Even though they are offered by the Supreme Personality Godhead, even though Krishna gives them mukti, they don't accept it. Bilamangalam Thakur also says that. What does Bilamangalam Thakur says about mukti? Yes?
Mukti is like
Waiting at my doorstep.
Mukti Mugiladanjali Swayam Sevaya Rasmin. Mukti is standing at my doorstep with folded hands, and I don't want it. That's what Bilamangalam Thakur, pure devotee, says. So we should not pray for this mukti or moksha. We should ask for pure devotional service. We mean seva. Mat sevaya janam. We just want devotional service or devotion to the pure devotees, or pure devotees ask only for devotional service from Krishna. And also, when you get Sayuja Mukti, what will happen? You fall down, right? Aruhi Krichena Parampadam Tak Padanti Yata. And Nera Vindaksha Vimukta Manina. They think they are liberated. Vimukta Manina. Nera Vindaksha Vimukta Manina. Right? This from 10th canto. It says Vimukta Manina. They think they are liberated. Right? They consider themselves they are liberated, but then they are not. And then Vai Ashtabhava Avishuddha Buddhaya Aruhya Krichena Parampadam Tat Patanti Ato Andrita Yusmat Anigraha. So Aruhya Krichena Parampadam Tat Patanti Ato. Even though they reach the Parampata, the Brahmachoti, still they fall down. There's only Brahmananda, there's no Sevananda. So here it is said that Lord Brahma says that although non-devotees accept severe austerities and penances to achieve the highest position, and they think they are liberated, the intelligence is impure, they fall down from their position to be imagined superiority because they have no regard for your lotus feet. So unless you do devotional service, we can't stay in that brahmacharya. That's not the real type of liberation. So Prithu Maharaj and Archie, they are right examples for grihasthas. We can't imitate them, but we should follow the footsteps of such great devotees, right? Mahajanyana Gadastamanda. So today is Gadadhar Pandit appearance day. So Gadadhar Pandit, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktananda. So Gadadhar Pandit is Radharani herself, right, who appeared to deliver us, right? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radha Krishna Nehi Anya, right? Shri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nehi Anya. He is a combined form of Radha Bhav, Radha mode. But why does again Radharani come as Gadadhar Pandit then? Already Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there's Radharani in him, right? Radharani is mood and bhav. So why Radharani has to come separately as Gadadhar Pandit?
To serve him, to serve Lord, to serve Lord.
To serve Lord, but already as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Radharani is serving Krishna only. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is serving Jagannath.
It's come as internal energy, Shakti.
Internal energy, yes, but that's the combined form have come now as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay. Yeah, so why? Because see, once you want to learn driving, you have an experienced person driving, means next to you, and you are driving, right? Those who have learned driving, there's an L board, learner's license, and you start. So who's actually controlling and everything, the brake and gear and everything, he's only managing. We are just in the steering. We think we are driving, but we are not. Then slowly he'll just start, he observes you from sitting on the other side, and he sees whether you're going right or wrong, and he corrects you. Similarly, when Krishna wanted to enjoy the rasa which Radharani wants to enjoy, or Krishna wants to, the internal reasons why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, Krishna wants to know the love which Radharani have, Krishna wants to enjoy the happiness and also want to know his own glories. So when Krishna wants to know about Radharani should be there on the driver's seat on the other side, no, to guide him whether he's going wrong or right or wrong or right. So Radharani came as Gadadhar Pandit just to see whether Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going the right track, in the sense, just to guide him, just to help him in enjoying the rasa. So later on, we know that Gadadhar Pandit got the deity called Tota Gominath deity, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave him and told him to worship. And when Gadadhar Pandit were old, he could not decorate the deity because the deity was so huge that he could not decorate. He was getting bent and bent. And then what happened? The deity sat for Gadadhar Pandit. And those who came with us to Puri, we saw how Gopinath was sitting in folded legs, the only deity who sits for his pure devotee Gadadhar Pandit. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Gadadhar Pandit used to read Srimad Bhagavatam, the 7th canto of Prahlad Maharaj. He used to cry and cry and cry. 100 times they used to read. And Gadadhar Pandit was always with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They were classmates. And initially, Gadadhar Pandit used to stop Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and tell him to become a devotee. But he was Nimai Pandit. He was a scholarly person. But slowly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as we know, went to Gaya and got the Harinam and then started doing his devotional ecstatic symptoms. Gadadhar Pandit came to Srivasangam and they both were together. So whenever Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just runs in ecstasy in Radha Bhav, of Vipralamba Bhav, where is my Krishna? Where is my Krishna? And he tried to tears open his own chest because he knows Krishna is inside his Paramatma. Gadadhar Pandit stops him. No, don't do this, because he is Radharani. And so Sachimata said, Gadadhar, please always be with my Nimai, because only you can pacify him. So Gadadhar Pandit is Radharani herself, and so we can pray to her to give more and more devotional service on this particular day, because she can give us Krishna, right? And nobody else can give us Krishna. So we pray to Gadadhar Pandit today, chant the Panchatattva mantra and chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So today's take-home lesson is that even though we are in a grihastha life, we simply has to follow our husband if he's a devotee, or if the husband is not a devotee, still we pray for that person. But then in Grihastha life also, we can go back home, back to Godhead if we are sincere. If we are sincerely chanting the holy name, Prabhupada mentions a Grihastha is equally as qualified as a brahmachari. So you all get up early morning, do your rounds, do the japa, and then worship the Lord. You have TT worship at home. Then you all cook for the Lord, offer bhog, and then take prasad. Hear Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita daily. In this way, the whole house is a Vrindavan. So we try to go back home, back to Godhead. So don't think that in Grihastha life we don't have any opportunity. No, Grihastharas are equally qualified or eligible to go back home, back to Godhead. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for joining. There's no fasting in the Vaishnava calendar. So just pray to Gadadhar Pandit. This is appearance day. On such appearance day, they are so merciful to us because he came down, Radharani came down in the material world to do pastime with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to give us Krishna Prema. So on appearance day and disappearance, we pray and get special mercy. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for joining. Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namo Vaishnava ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. So Vaijayanti Mataji. The sloka number of Gita Govinda, I don't know. I just like that sloka. Smarakarala Kandanam, Mama Shirasi Mandanam, Dehi Pada Pallava Mudharam Shurave, Priye Charushile Munjamai. We can just type and see. So it says, Bhakti Saraswati Prabhupada's Guru say, you should not try to understand the meaning of Gita Govinda because it's so exalted. So we can just know that sloka, we can sing, because in every day in Jagannath Puri, Jagannath is made to sleep. He don't sleep, he doesn't have eyelids only. But then just like that, they sing this song, Gita Govinda. Without Gita Govinda, Jagannath doesn't sleep. And he has a chadar, or he has a shawl in which Gita Govinda is printed by devotees, and that is wrapped around Jagannath. Okay. Hare Krishna. Any questions or anything to add? Thank you all for joining. Please keep chanting. Many devotees have already come to the Bangalore temple for the Rath Yatra and soft opening. Those who have not planned, you can still plan. There are 2 more days left. Just come on the weekend, Saturday, Sunday. You're not going to lose anything. You're going to gain so much of association and so much of positive energy when the devotees are around. And that will really help you in your sadhana. The online association won't help really. Offline association only will help. So please try to come. We have a soft opening. We have a grand Rath Yatra. So still you have 2 days left to come. Okay. So Saturday evening around 3:30 the Rath Yatra starts. And Sunday morning 9 to 12 we have the soft opening function. And Prabhupada's disciple Jeevanath Prabhu is coming. He's going to be having extra big kirtan with him and nice lecture. Hare Krishna. Thank you all for joining. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji.